She crossed the finish line faster than any American woman that year, 21.77 seconds, faster than Felix, faster than Richardson, faster than anyone expected. But the next headline wasn't about a medal, it was about walking away. At just 25, Abby Steiner, once hailed as the next great US sprinter, made a stunning choice. She stepped off the track and into the world of medicine. Why? And what does it cost to leave greatness behind? On purpose. Abby Steiner didn't come from a sprinting dynasty. She came from Dublin, Ohio. A soccer player first, a track runner second, and even then, not the fastest in the country. But what she had couldn't be clocked in a stopwatch. In high school, Steiner was a multi-sport athlete with Division I potential, but not a sure thing. She was fast, but not Sha'Carri fast, not Allison fast, not yet. She took a chance on the University of Kentucky. They took a chance on her, and something clicked. At Kentucky, she balanced two lives, biology labs and track workouts. While others focused purely on sport, Abby quietly built a double life, athlete and scholar. She wasn't loud, she wasn't flashy, but every season she got faster. So by 2021, the world started paying attention. By 2022, she was rewriting it. That year alone, Abby Steiner ran the fastest indoor 200 meters in US history. Then, she ran the fastest outdoor 200 meters in the world that season, 21.77 seconds. Only Florence Griffith Joyner, Gwen Torrence, and a handful of legends had ever run faster. She became NCAA champion, then US national champion, then World Championship bronze medalist in the 4x100 meter relay. And just like that, Abby Steiner wasn't a prospect. She was a star. Analysts called her the most technically sound sprinter in America. Her form was textbook. Her splits were terrifying. She signed a pro contract with Puma, reportedly worth over $2 million. Olympic sponsors came knocking. So did the media. She was young, clean-cut, hard-working, and quiet. Everything Team USA needed in a new sprint icon. The cameras wanted sound bites. But Abby? She gave them silence and speed. She didn't celebrate. She didn't flex. She just ran. And for a moment, it felt like she might be the next face of American sprinting. But behind the medals, something was off. Coaches noticed her favoring one foot. She missed training blocks. She sat out key events. Then came the whisper no sprinter wants to hear. Surgery. Once as bad, twice as worrying, 3 times. That's career defining. But no one outside her camp knew how serious it was until she made the announcement. The human foot has 26 bones, 33 joints, and more than 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Abby Steiner pushed all of them past their limit. Her first foot surgery came quietly. There was no public statement, no drama, just an unexplained absence from a key meet. And then, she was back. For most fans, it didn't matter. She was still fast, still winning. But inside Abby's camp, the warning signs were flashing red. She was training through pain, competing through it. Every turn on the track put pressure on bones that hadn't fully healed. Then came surgery number 2, another hidden chapter, another reset. Most sprinters would slow down, some would retire. Abby doubled down. She refused to let her body write the ending. She rehabbed, rebuilt, and returned. But the damage was compounding. What the public didn't see were the sleepless nights, the walking boots, the endless cycles of swelling and retaping. By the time she underwent her 3rd foot surgery, it wasn't just about track anymore. It was about quality of life. And here's the twist. Abby Steiner wasn't just an athlete trying to get healthy. She was a scholar trained to understand the very systems that were failing her. A dual-degree graduate in kinesiology and biology, she spent years studying how the human body performs and breaks. She could read her MRI scans better than most rookies in med school. She wasn't guessing what was wrong. She knew. And after the 3rd operation, she saw something the world didn't, that her sprinting career was starting to look more like survival than success. There were still endorsement deals on the table, still Olympic dreams in the distance. But Abby began to ask herself a different question. What kind of life comes after this? She had sacrificed her body for a sport that rewarded short bursts and brutal demands. Now, she was thinking long-term, for the first time in a long time. Because when you're only 25 and you've had 3 foot surgeries, what does the next 10 years look like? A 4th surgery? A permanent limp? Or a future built on helping others avoid exactly this? That was the shift. The moment when running fast stopped being the only goal. The moment Abby Steiner stopped chasing medals and started chasing meaning. There was no farewell race, no last lap, no tearful press conference, just a statement. Abby Steiner posted quietly on social media. No dramatics, just clarity. She was stepping away from professional track and field. Not because she was done, but because she was ready. It hit the track world like a shockwave. The timing, the tone, the finality. She didn't say taking a break. She didn't hint at a comeback. She said she was moving forward with medicine. For fans who had watched her career explode in under 2 years, it felt unthinkable. But for Abby, it felt necessary. In her words, "I've come to understand that success isn't just defined by medals or records, but by the impact we make. I want to help people heal, not just inspire them on the track." This wasn't a decision made in defeat. It was made in control. Most athletes don't leave before the decline. They push until the headlines change, from rising star to washed up. Abby Steiner never gave the world the chance to write that second headline. She chose to leave before the regrets, before the 5th place finishes, before the limping retirements. And she didn't just walk into nothing. She walked into something that had been part of her identity all along. Medicine wasn't a fallback. It was the parallel track she'd been sprinting on the whole time. In labs between workouts, in classes after practice, in textbooks on the bus rides to meets, where others saw a sprinter she'd always seen a future physician. And maybe that's what makes her choice so powerful. She didn't quit. She transitioned with precision. Because not every race ends at the finish line. Some of them start there. What do you call it when someone walks away from millions, medals, and magazine covers just to pursue something that doesn't come with applause? Most people call that crazy, but the truly brave call it freedom. And Abby Steiner didn't just run fast. She ran free. Abby Steiner didn't retire in a blaze of medals. She didn't wait for a comeback story or a farewell tour. She simply chose to stop while she was still winning. And that choice might be her most powerful legacy. Because in a sport obsessed with more, Abby Steiner said, enough. Enough surgeries, enough pain, enough living life in half-year cycles of rehab and race day. Instead of stretching her career until it snapped, she preserved what mattered most: her body, her intellect, her purpose. She wasn't done competing, she just changed the arena. Today, she's in a new kind of sprint. One that demands patience, not power. No crowd, no camera, just long shifts, steady hands, and the quiet work of healing. There are few examples in sports like hers. Maybe Myron Rolle, the NFL safety-turned-neurosurgeon. But even that comparison misses something. Because Abby never left medicine behind. She ran with it, alongside it, until the moment came to hand off the baton. And that decision tells a bigger story. Not just about her, but about the system she ran through. In American track and field, the expectation is clear. Sacrifice everything for the shot at gold. Your time, your body, your 20s. But what happens when the medals stop? What happens when your career ends before your 30s and you have nothing else to fall back on? Abby Steiner asked those questions early. She didn't just plan for life after track, she built it as she sprinted through the spotlight. And that's what makes her story so rare and so valuable. She's a blueprint, a counter-narrative. Proof that being great on the track doesn't mean losing yourself off of it. For every young athlete watching, she offers something better than a highlight reel. A path. One where success isn't measured only in seconds and podiums, but in lives changed and futures earned. She may never run in another Olympics, but if she becomes the doctor who helps someone walk again, who eases chronic pain, who rebuilds what's broken, that's a different kind of gold, because some legacies are made on the track, and some are made when you have the courage to leave it behind. Abby Steiner's race isn't over, it's just begun. And this time, she's running towards something the stopwatch can't measure.